expensive.
You gonna tell him? Well, if you ain't, I will. Mommy promised Ernie a graduation dress, and she gonna need the money for the fabric. All right, it's been said. There you go.
Armina is fiery, impassioned. She is fierce, sassy, and straightforward, very direct, and also very caring and loving.
Maybe look at some television sets. What I do want the best for my babies.
Something better is always on the horizon.
The biggest challenge stepping back into 1950 was honestly looking at it through the lens of my eyes, which is in 2025. I'm a zillennial. I was not born in 1950, so the director, our amazing director Nataki, she constantly pulled us back into the 1950s and reminded us, you wouldn't have these privileges, you wouldn't think like this, you would actually be a bit more reserved, or even if you are still passionate. So that was probably the biggest challenge.
Violently on our bus ride home, I thought it was gonna come right off. We soaked it nice and prayed. That night, her leg almost fell off. Please, Lord, forgive us for our sins. It was only this once that we transgressed, but it was for a very important cause. But the next day, when we looked at the lace in the light of the bedroom, it was all worthwhile.
Honestly, I think it was just divine that we had so much chemistry from the beginning. We both are very generous souls and just had an idea of our characters. And I feel like just spending time together backstage, asking each other questions, discovering new things about each other in our personal lives that made connections to who our characters were. That really helped. And as well, I would say Annie is just such an amazing actress to work alongside. She's so generous, and so it was easy for me to feel like I could give my all and just connect with her in that sisterly way, the same way that she was connected with me as a sister. And she is my sister now. The main message I would say to take away from the play is that your humanity is valid, and sometimes you don't know what to do with your grief, and that is the right choice. Like one of the characters says, Annie says, or Ernie says, she says, we all do things with our grief that we don't even understand. And so what unfolds in the play is a series of people making decisions, some for themselves, some for other people, and it affects everyone's lives, but we don't know why we grieve and how we grieve. That's something Nataki would always say, is we don't know why we do what we do. And so just giving validation for your process of grief and accepting and validating it.
What happened?
That bastard's lucky only caught him with the side of my hand. I was outnumbered, that's all. Because any other time
What? Supposed to be that close up to a man's private. There might be a little surprise you ain't ready for.
Been up closer to a boy than Ernie ever been.
You better not have. Papo was all black and shiny like a new pair of patent leather shoes. He kept whispering in my ear, "Que linda, que linda, how beautiful I was, how beautiful I was."